Deep in the Amazon, local hunters whisper about serpents so colossal they can devour a full-grown man. Animals seen so huge, they defy everything we think we know about their kind. What if these stories are true? Scientists discovered a monstrous snake that once dominated the food chain of the prehistoric jungle. It was 49 feet long and weighed over 2,500 pounds. It's the largest serpent ever found on Earth, proven to have existed 60 million years ago. Scientists called it Titanoboa. Its fossils were discovered in the Cerrejón coal mine in northern Colombia. First uncovered in the early 2000s and officially described in 2009, this creature wasn't some weird evolutionary experiment. It descended from the boa family that today comprises 5 genera with approximately 40 species. Modern anacondas are a part of that boa family. The discovery of Titanoboa raised a central question ever since. If the Amazon once created giants like this, could they still be alive today? And if they are, what does that mean for the dozens of huge snake sighting reports coming out of the Amazon every year? To find answers, we need to look at that mysterious place. The Amazon rainforest represents Earth's most expansive tropical ecosystem. It spans nearly 2.7 million square miles across 9 South American countries. Look at this map of the United States and you might get an impression of how huge that is. Cutting through this massive region is the planet's most extensive freshwater system. A maze of rivers, swamps, and wetlands that define every organism living there. Every year, when the rains come, huge sections of the forest go underwater. They transform into flooded forests that stay submerged for months. That world is perfect for one specific predator: the green anaconda. A snake that thrives equally in water, on land, and in trees. It hunts in muddy water where you can't see your hand in front of your face. Being a pure ambush killer, it wraps its massive body around prey, squeezing or drowning it, and then swallows it whole. Here's what differentiates the green anaconda from most predators. They only need to eat a few times per year. Unlike its neighbors, the black caiman, which can grow up to 16 to 20 feet long. It is another apex predator in the Amazon basin. After feeding, the green anaconda sinks back into the water and vanishes into one of thousands of channels cutting through the jungle. So if any region on Earth could hide an unusually massive anaconda, it's the Amazon. The largest confirmed specimens today measure around 20 feet long. Modern researchers like jungle explorer Paul Rosalie have tracked and measured wild specimens throughout the Amazon basin. And new discoveries keep happening. In 2024, during an expedition in Ecuador's Amazon, scientists documented a huge individual. Hollywood star Will Smith joined the research team. He explored dangerous animals and ecosystems in the Amazon rainforest in the National Geographic series Pole to Pole with Will Smith. The expedition actually found one of the largest anacondas ever properly recorded at over 20 feet long. But beyond 20 feet, things get murky. The largest specimen ever scientifically recorded sits in the archives of London's Natural History Museum. According to their records, this individual measured 27.7 feet and weighed over 440 pounds. Yet reports from the Amazon go way beyond 27 feet. They span across different centuries, different cultures, and different expeditions. During the 1800s, naturalists traveling through the Amazon regularly documented accounts of snakes reaching 40 feet. Explorers like Henry Walter Bates and Alfred Russel Wallace took these reports seriously. They wrote them down in detail. In 1907, British explorer Percy Fawcett reported encountering a snake he claimed was over 59 feet long. Unfortunately, no physical proof survived. Fawcett later returned to the Amazon on another expedition. The result? He vanished without a trace. Around 1910, former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt announced a $50,000 bounty for anyone who could deliver a giant anaconda over 33 feet to the Bronx Zoo. Nobody ever claimed it. Fast forward to modern times when the sightings didn't stop. In 2016, a report from Pará, Brazil, described an anaconda measuring over 33 feet discovered during construction work. So we have over a century of reports and still not enough proof to confirm. But not enough to dismiss the sightings either. Which brings us to the questions. Could a predator that size still exist today? How do snakes get that large? For years, scientists thought the answer was simply temperature. These reptiles are ectothermic. Their growth depends heavily on heat. During the Paleocene, when these big boys like Titanoboa lived, the tropics were significantly warmer than today. But today, many researchers say temperature alone doesn't explain it. The real answer might be the complex ecosystem itself leveraging several factors. Because the prehistoric Amazon looked much different back then. It was far larger. More enormous wetlands supported huge populations of fish and aquatic animals. And living in these waters were other giant predators, like crocodiles from the ancient Dinosauridae family. Some reached 16 to 20 feet in length. What we know is that even today, the Amazon ecosystem can still support predators almost as large as those that lived here millions of years ago. Yes, individuals pushing the absolute limits of their species are extremely rare. But for every giant, there are thousands of normal-sized individuals. And if any living snake is built to push size limits, it is the anaconda. Their ability to live both in water and on land, to hunt deep underwater but also far inland, gives them access to an unusually wide range of prey. Also, as these serpents spend most of their lives in water, growing doesn't become a mobility issue. Gravity puts massive stress on muscles, organs, and bones. But in water, buoyancy supports the body. It's not a coincidence that Earth's largest creatures, like blue whales, inhabit oceans. Water removes many of the physical limits gravity places on giant bodies. It doesn't create giant snakes by itself, but it explains why the heaviest are found in rivers and swamps. And there's another factor we have to consider. Unlike most predators, these reptiles never stop growing. Scientists refer to this as continuous growth. As long as the animal survives and finds enough food, it keeps getting bigger. And these snakes can live 20 to 30 years. So biologically speaking, yes, they could reach very large sizes we haven't properly documented yet. But why has nobody managed to obtain documented physical proof? A 2025 study based on 12 years of fieldwork in the Peruvian Amazon revealed just how elusive these snakes really are. Researchers attached radio transmitters to several specimens. They could track their exact locations. But even when scientists knew precisely where a snake was, they rarely saw it. Visual confirmation occurred in merely 17% of tracked locations without physically uncovering the animal. Most of the time, the snakes were completely hidden. Beneath logs, inside dense vegetation, under riverbanks with only their nostrils exposed. To make matters worse, any infrastructure only exists near settlements and major rivers. Reaching remote tributaries can take days or weeks by boat. That's something even Matthew McConaughey describes in his book Green Lights, when talking about his week-long trip to the Amazon rainforest. And once you get into the deepest jungle regions, long-term research becomes extremely difficult. Paper won't stick with you for long, and any technical gadget isn't well kept in these humid places. Normally, fossils would fill in the gaps of our knowledge. But in the Amazon, they're almost non-existent. Because tropical rainforests rank among the worst places for preserving fossils. Heat, humidity, and acidic soil make bones decompose rapidly. Most animals that die here leave no trace. And even when fossils do survive, they're incredibly hard to find, as rock layers are rarely exposed. Only in unusual locations where sediments quickly bury remains can fossils survive long enough to be discovered later. The prehistoric Titanoboa was found in better conditions. Every known fossil of this species originates from one single site, a Colombian coal mine. That mine is located in a region that once spanned a massive portion of South America, being a part of the jungle. Eventually, this species vanishes from the fossil record. That's why scientists assume it went extinct. But here's the twist. In a place where fossils almost never form, our picture of the past is inevitably incomplete. After all, in the Amazon, the absence of proof isn't proof of absence.